Hello, today I'm going to be talking about Adobe Aero. Is a free tool to create augmented reality experience. You can create experience from a computer, Mac or Windows, and also from iOS devices. Today we're going to talk about the desktop version. So for the installation, you can look for Adobe Aero. It will take you to this page, and then you go and click here to try the desktop beta, and the application will install. Once the application is installed, you will see something like this, and we can create a new file. Something important to keep in mind is that all the files here are stored in the cloud, so you don't need to save anything. They just update, and you will have them linked to your account. Okay, so here we're going to start. We click new file, and then you will see you have three different ways of creating the file. You have surface anchor, where you place an experience on any horizontal or vertical surface. Location anchor, that you situate the experience at a specific location on the map. So this will only work if the person is on that specific coordinates. And then image anchor, where the AR experience is triggered by an image. We're gonna do the surface anchor since it works anywhere. I'm just gonna call it AR intro. I highly recommend working with a mouse for 3D environments. If you do right click and drag, you can rotate, but then you need your scroll button to move around. So if I press the scroll button, I pan, and then if I move the scroll button, I zoom in and out. For now, I'm gonna hide this panel. So we have the viewport bigger, and we're gonna add a 3D object. Basically, everything that we add on this screen, it will be part of the AR experience. So to start, I'm gonna click the plus button, and I'm gonna have a 3D model here that might look familiar for some of you. If I press F, I will focus on the model and I can fully see it. This is a 3D model that we did using Polycam. It's a photogrammetry model. And then here on the right, you can see you have the properties. So something very important in AR is that the size of the things translate to the size of things in the real world. So you really need to think about this. For example, here is telling me that the size of this is 180 centimeters, so over a meter. And I don't want to have this experience that big. So I'm gonna do like 80 centimeters. And then also the position right now is telling me is on the Y axis. You see here, Y is always the green one. So it's telling me how high the object it is. And right now it's 61 centimeters. I'm gonna do it a little taller because I want the object to be in front of the user. So probably 100 will be good. Then you also have the rotation. You can rotate dragging things here, or you can use the cursor where you have the circle ones will let you rotate the object, and the arrows will let you drag the object. So I think looks like a good position for me. And for explaining things better, I'm gonna create an interactive augmented reality test. So what I want to do is to point one of the kidneys, explain what the kidneys does, and then ask the user to find the other one. It's going to be an easy example that will help us understand the different features here. So first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add an arrow that comes from here so I can point one of the kidneys. And you can see you have your own library of objects. One option, if I want to use an arrow from a Sketchfab or something, I can download it and import it the same way I imported the torso. Just go plus and pick the 3D model. But I want to use one from the library. So they don't have many options. They have some animated ones, some furniture, but illustrations as well. But for this, I will just use this cylinder and we will modify it a little bit so it looks like it's pointing the kidney. So again, I can move it here, and I just want to make it like very small. So if I play with the scale here, you will see the whole object scale, because right now the scale is locked. But if I unlock this, that means I can independently move the scale of each one of the axes. So what I want to do is I want to make this very small. So probably like 1 centimeter and 1 centimeter here. And now if I change the rotation, I can make it point one of the kidneys. So I rotate here, move here, switch the viewpoint so I can tell where is that. Like right now it's like in the middle of the body. I need to move it a little bit to the right, a little bit to the bottom, and okay, that looks good, but it's too long. So I'm gonna do the Y smaller, and I can also bring this forward. What is the next thing that I need? I need to add text to this experience. Sadly, you cannot add text from here, so you need a third party tool to bring your text here. You can use anything like Canva, Illustrator, whatever tool you're familiar with. I'm just gonna do a really quick example. So I'm gonna use the notepad, and then I already have some text prepared here with the elements that I need. So I have the title, then I have a short explanation about what is the kidney, about how the kidneys work, and I'm asking the user if they can find another one. And then I have the congratulations message. So what I'm gonna do to get this, I'm just gonna do like a screenshot of the different sections. So I have the title, and then I need to save this somewhere in my computer. And this will be the info window. And then one more, that is the congratulations message. One more thing that I'm gonna create right now, and this will make more sense later, is just an image in blank, because I want to detect when the user taps the kidney. So for that, I need first image as a reference. So this is gonna be just like blank. Okay, so now that I have all the assets ready, I will start adding them to the experience. So to add any kind of image, you go here, plus, this is the title, and we can see it. If I focus, it's like way down over here. So remember, I said the height like 100 before, I think. It's also very small, so I'm gonna increase it. And this is very ugly, like it doesn't have a design. I just want to make an example, but again, you can use any design tools you have to create the text here. Maybe a little smaller. And then, yeah, just make sure that the cylinder connects with this example. So you will see what I want to do is I want to tap this and then have a pop-up with the image with the explanation. So I'm gonna go again, import, and same thing, I have the info window. I'm gonna scale it like this. I scale it 5 times, so I'm gonna do maybe 4 times with the information. And then the position is gonna be 100. Cool. This is very big. I'm gonna do it smaller. I'll make sure it's under this. Right? So as I was telling you, I want to tap this and make this visible. You will see that all the objects have the visible, invisible toggle here, and you can play around with that. So to start, I want to have this invisible, right? And here is where we start playing with the actions and behaviors. So remember, this was the first screen that I toggled. So I click on this and I can see it. And it's telling me to add a trigger. And triggers are actions that happen when we do something. And because right now, what I want to do is when I tap the kidney title, I go here, I click on title, and I do add trigger. And then you will have different options like start. This just happens at the beginning of the experience. So if I want, for example, to have everything on visible, and then when it starts, everything show up, I can create a group and say on start, make this group visible. Um, Proximity enter and proximity exit. This is like when you get close to a specific point. But for now, we're just gonna work with tap to keep it simple. And then, yeah, it's saying when I tap the title, what action is going to happen? Well, the action is I want to show something, right? And again, you will see you have a lot of different options. Play animation, play audio. So for if I want to make this more interactive, I could have a recording of me explaining what are the kidneys, what they do, and then at the end asking, can you find the other one? So instead of showing, I will use play an audio. You can move, you can rotate, you can orbit, you can open an external URL. But for now, again, I'm just gonna do show. So when I tap this, and here is telling me again, when I tap the title, what is going to happen? I'm gonna show, but this by default, the subject is the title. So it's like when I tap the title, I show the title, right? But I don't want this to happen. I want to show the info window, right? And here I can even preview the action. So when I tap the title, I show the info window, right? And you have different ways of doing this, like fade, scale. I'm just gonna do fade and scale, and you can choose like how much time it takes to appear. So if I do it like 1 second, it's gonna be a little slower. You have like this nice effect. And that's it. We can go here and we can preview the experience to see if this is working. And then when I tap the kidneys, I see this, right? Okay, and now comes the fun part. We want to add a hidden hotspot over here. So when the person taps that, we can see the congratulations message. So first, I'm going to add the congratulations message here. I'm going to make that bigger, scale 5. And I'm going to position this in front of the torso, right? But I'm going to hide it because we only want to show this when the person taps the kidney. If this 3D model wasn't an object combined, it would be easier to do this because let's say you have different objects here, right? So you have the lungs, you have the skin, and you have the kidneys, right? So let's say I'm going to add this sphere as an example. And let's say the sphere is the other kidney. So it will be pretty easy. All I need to do is tap the sphere and say add a trigger. On top, I want to have an action, and the action is to show the congratulations message, right? So it will work like this. I see kidneys, I read the information, it's telling me, can you find the other one? I tap the sphere and it's telling me, like, congratulations, you found it. And that would be it, right? But because this is one full 3D model, I need to create a transparent hotspot here. And how I'm gonna do it is with an image. So first I'm gonna take this blank image, right? and I'm gonna put it on top of the kidney. I wanna make sure I'm gonna give like some extra space, but I wanna make sure it's on top and has a similar size. So I'm gonna unlock this again for the scale and make it to go over the kidney like this. You see, so if I toggle this, is on the position of the image, right? So again, when I tap this, I'm gonna select here the blank image. I want to show the congratulations message. So if I go to preview, kidneys, can you find them? Click on the image, congratulations, you found it. But we want to have this transparent because it would be too easy to know where's the other kidney, and also right now you cannot really see it. So this is something good that you can replace the selected image. So right now I have an image that is white, but I want to have an image that is transparent. All that I did was to look for a transparent image on Google. Then I say right click, say if image as, and I save it as transparent, right? So I have that on my assets. And if I go here and replace the image, I pick the transparent image. Then we have the hiding hotspot. So our experience is ready to check on augmented reality. First, I'm going to do one more test here. Kidneys. Can you find the other one? Perfect. So to publish this, we go to the share window over here. And then you can pick a title and you can create a link. It's gonna take some time since it needs to sync all the files to the cloud. But once it's ready, you will see a QR code and you can scan that QR code with your phone to see the experience on AR. There is also a link that you can share with other people for them to use. So this is the link and this is the QR code. And let's see this in AR. Okay, so in your phone you need to open the camera, scan the QR code, and then you will see the option to open Adobe Aero web app. It takes some time to load, and when it's ready, you can click continue, and it will ask you to find a horizontal surface and tap to create the anchor of the experience. So I tap here and I have the model just in front of me, and I can walk around as it was in the real world. And then if I tap on kidneys, I will see the description and the question, can you find the other one? So I can get close, look around, try to see where is the other one. And when I tap on it, I see the congratulations message. So yeah, this is the introduction for Adobe Aero. Other things that you can do that I think are cool, for example, is making groups. You can select all of these elements here and you can see how you have different actions. So I'm gonna group all of them and then I'm gonna do a fun intro. So I'm gonna select the full group. It's gonna start hidden, but then I'm gonna do a trigger that is on start. I want to see the whole group. So it has that, but for now I'm gonna do like 1 second and the effect is gonna be fade, just fade. So when the experience starts, you will see on the preview, like it will just pop up. Um, and then you can explore with the different triggers like proximity and also the different actions, as I was telling you before. It's with all the simple actions, you can create so many different interactive experience. In the next model, you will see some examples on how to apply these to bigger projects.